Hi, I'm Jo Brand, comedian, and if people like me have to get involved, you know we're in deep.
She'll tell us why she has been roped in to get us interested in climate change, using humour to explain the science. She's joining us next.
You're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV1.
It's 5 to 8. You're sending us some great examples of rubbish Christmas presents. Here's one from Mary on Facebook. She says, my lovely late auntie gave me half a bottle of gin. She drank some, and then she remembered it was my present, so she wrapped it and gave it to me anyway. Bless her. All right, now then, when you're struggling to make an important, life-saving message through to the masses, you might want to call on a comedian to help you.
Well, that's what the campaign group Climate Science Breakthrough has done, asking comedian Jo Brand to help us understand the science of climate change with a typically blunt and humorous video. Let's have a look.
Hi, I'm Jo Brand, comedian, and if people like me have to get involved, you know we're in deep.
The climate crisis is progressing much faster than anticipated.
Translation, we're still going to hell, but we're getting there faster.
We are destabilizing our planet's climate system, which is already leading to an increase in unpredictable weather events.
Your house is on fire, but don't worry, the next flash flood should sort it out.
The overall consequences are literally inescapable.
I'm sure in a society where people lose their if their Deliveroo order's 5 minutes late, we will cope magnificently with global food shortages.
Well, Brand and Mark Maslin, who you saw there, who's the Professor of Earth System Science at UCL, are both with us now. This is a clever idea. I like this idea.
Oh, thanks, Richard.
Yeah. It wasn't your idea, was it?
What do you mean? It can't possibly be my idea because it was clever.
It's clever, yes.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't my idea, no.
Presumably, Professor, this was an idea that came from you and the climate scientists because you're struggling to get the message through. And the Just Stop Oil activists might be getting the message through, but they're not doing it in a particularly popular way. Is that why you've tried to make it? Because it's not a funny subject, is it?
No.
The climate crisis.
Well, we've been struggling for 30 years to actually communicate the opportunities as well as the threats of climate change. And it was the Climate Science Breakthrough guys, who are all ex-media, who basically came and said, look, you're not getting through. Why don't we use our contact? Why don't we get brilliant comedians like Jo to actually translate what you're trying to say? And the thing is, why am I on Good Morning Britain? It's not because of climate change, it's because of Jo. And so therefore, it really works because there are so many positive things about climate change that we can deal with.
So, Jo, are you writing original material for this, or are you adapting existing gags that you've got?
Stolen someone else's.
But is it a subject you are passionate about? Would you be out there blocking traffic if you could?
No.
Right. So you're doing your bit in your way.
I don't like that word passionate. It's overused.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very concerned about it.
Yeah.
So it is an area that I'm interested in. But I also think, you know, considering what I do, I'm probably better used doing something like this than I am out on a march. I don't like marching. It's too stressful and it wears me out. But, you know, if someone said to me, will you come on a march? I might do if I wasn't lying down.
Yeah. You'd rather lie down in your own bed than lie down in front of a car, basically, is what you're saying.
Oh, now that's a nice idea. I'll think about that one.
But it's a very British thing to do, isn't it? I can't imagine any other country doing this, using ironic humour to kind of get these points. I can't imagine the Americans doing it or the French doing it.
Well, it's a cliche, isn't it? The Americans don't get irony.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can imagine the French doing that. Yeah, absolutely.
The whole point of doing it right now, Professor Maslin, is because we have COP28 taking place in Dubai. And meanwhile, the UAE hosting has been accused of a real scandal because allegedly they were planning to use the climate change talks to push oil and gas interests. Have you seen this story? Does this come as any surprise to you at all?
So I have seen the fantastic story, and no, it doesn't come as a surprise to any of us. It is a really odd thing, which is the president of COP, who's trying to negotiate with 198 countries to get more tighter agreements on reducing carbon emissions, is also the CEO of the national oil and gas company. And that juxtaposition, and we've been complaining about this for 6 months, to say it just sends out the wrong message.
It's like having a peace conference and using it to organise an invasion, isn't it? I mean, it's a complete inversion of the purpose.
I mean, it's like, as Greta said, our house is on fire, and I feel sometimes some of these petrochemical nations are literally trying to throw more petrol on it and going, don't worry, we'll sort it out in 10 or 20 years' time. It's just not going to happen. So this is why we need Joe and others to get the message out. Because the problem is, moving to renewables, it's cheaper, cleaner, and better for everybody. Why wouldn't we do it anyway?
Yeah. Well, we will speak to the Environment Secretary, Steve Barclay, in a few minutes, actually, on this programme. If there is one thing that people watching this video of you doing the science and Joe interpreting it for the lay person in a humorous way, if there's one thing you want people to take away from it, what would it be?
Lobby government to do the right thing.
What is the right thing?
We don't need any more oil and gas.
Right.
We really
no
don't.
new licenses.
Anywhere in the world. We have enough oil and gas to make the temperatures up to 3 degrees warmer than today. Okay? So we don't need any more. So giving out those licenses is ridiculous. They won't be operational for 10 to 15 years. They make no difference because there's such a small amount coming out. Won't make any difference to the global prices. So our energy bills will still be incredibly high. So therefore, just cancel them.
Well,
do the right
one
thing.
of us will put that point to the Minister in a few minutes.
Please do.
Okay, we'll see what he says.
Yeah.
Isn't he great?
He's great, isn't he?
Only because of you, Joe.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah,